Hey girl, it's your girl Jessica Jade, and I'm here today with a beautiful woman named Mariam. She is the founder and artisan of I See You Well, a Reiki practitioner, and my Moroccan soul sister. You ready to get started?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
So excited to have you.
So happy you're here in my studio.
I know. It's, honestly, this place is so zen and
you.
so cute. The purple everywhere, like just the color palette, seriously, eases me. I love it. It's great.
Thank you.
So, as I mentioned, you are Moroccan.
I am. I am from Marrakech, Morocco.
Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about your childhood. What brought you here to the U.S.?
Okay, so I was born in Marrakech, Morocco, and I am the youngest of 4. My childhood was quite interesting. It is a whole other show. It's a whole other show, but it was somewhat of a turbulent childhood, but also full of love at the same time. A lot of contradictions, as all of us. I'm sure you can relate. But I'm the youngest of 4, and I am like the surprise one. So I wasn't the planned one at all. I just kind of showed up. I'm like, I'm here. I'm doing me. This is happening. And so I grew up in Marrakech with my family, and then my older siblings, they all, by the time I was 13, they all left to different places in the world to study. So my parents were very adamant about us going and experiencing different cultures and learning new things, and they were very much about education. So I grew up thinking, like, this is just what I have to do. I have to go to school. That's just, it wasn't an option, right? It was like this, I have to do this, right? So all my siblings went to different places. My oldest one came here to the U.S. and went to Houston, Texas to do her master's degree. So when I finished high school, my parents are like, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do next? And I said, I want to be in advertising.
Okay.
And I already had chosen a school that was in Morocco, in Casablanca.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to study advertising. I already had my vision, what I wanted to do. And then they came back a week later, and they're like, you know what, Mariam, we don't want you to go to Casablanca by yourself. We want you to go to Houston with your sister. I'm like, those are 2 very different things.
Those are 2 different worlds.
2 different worlds, but it seemed to me like they wanted me to be with my sister. I'm the youngest. They're very protective of me. So I'm like, sure, I'll go to Houston, whatever. Let's go, let's do it. So I packed my bags and left at 18. Came to Houston, Texas with my sister. And then a year later, she decided to go back to Morocco and start her own entrepreneurial ventures.
What?
And I was like, at 19,
alone,
by myself,
in a different country,
in Houston, Texas,
right? Which is a whole different world. Yeah,
it's a whole different world. But at that point, my parents freaked out for a little bit. They were like, "Oh wow, we can't stay there. Like, come back. Like, we have to find something else." And that's when I put my foot down, and I'm like, No, this is happening. I'm staying.
You did this.
You did this. So I'm gonna go all the way. Of course, I had my first taste of freedom, and I'm like, this is amazing. I'm never gonna be with it. Like, I'm gonna be alone forever. This is perfect. And so I stayed, and it's been 14 years.
Wow, you've been here a long time.
Yeah, on my own.
Did you actually get into advertising?
Yeah, so I first went to school. You know, I did community college first, and I went to university and got my advertising degree. I also did a dance degree at the same time.
What? You're a dancer?
Yes.
Okay, girl.
Yes.
I have no idea.
So, you know, I'm not a practicing dancer, but I am a dancer deep inside.
And you've got the training to prove it.
I do. It's almost prove it.
Yeah. So did you like advertising? What was that like? What was that world like? Because
like
you're doing something very different now. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yes. Yes.
Like, I'm sure you use those skills, but it's a different world, I feel like.
It's an absolutely different world.
So tell me about advertising.
So I got into advertising because I had a vision at 15 years old where it was like me talking to the masses, bringing people together, or raising everyone up.
Right.
And so it was masses. Mm-hmm. And then it clicked in my head, and I'm like, wow, advertising, you get to talk to millions of people.
Yeah.
And because if you're creative like I was,
right,
you get to come up with all the ideas that are going to be, you know, all the communications, everything,
that
right?
Sounds like fun.
It's a lot of fun. Well, it can be.
In the right setting.
It can be. So when I got into the industry, started my first job and all that, I realized that people are not there yet. You know what I mean? As far as like the things that I wanted to do, people are not in there to help or to to raise people up. Like it's not there. They're not there.
Okay.
And so when I got there, I really couldn't really do what I wanted to do. And not only that, but I encountered so many other challenges that were not in my radar.
Like what?
Like it's very, very white male dominated. And somehow a lot of them have issues with powerful women of color. And like, I'm coming in like, I'm powerful. I know what I'm doing. I know what I have vision. I have, and they want followers. And like, I'm not.
Right.
That's just not who I am.
Not at all.
I'm not. I can't help it.
They were messing with the wrong one.
Yeah. So it was difficult for me to just find my place in the industry because I ended up doing so much work around women and diversity and like advocating. Which is amazing, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm wasting my career doing the work internally where I need to do the work externally to the masses. I'm here to create because I'm a creator.
Right.
Of course, I can nurture the diversity and all that in the industry, but why am I trying to solve a problem that I didn't create?
Girl, speak on it.
You know?
That's it.
So, and of course, throughout that whole period, I had so many ups and downs because it was, the way I can describe it, it was like, I was in the alternate universe. It was
like a hostile environment.
Very hostile. I was in the Matrix. Literally. And I am knowing that it was. It's not like I was asleep. Like, I knew it was happening.
This is not real life. This is not right.
No, it's not right.
What was that moment that made you switch gears and change careers? Because like we mentioned, you were in it deep. You were making almost 6 figures. You're technically at your dream job, doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, everything you wish that you could do since you were like 13.
Yeah, I got awards, I got recognition, all these things.
Right.
But then I realized that I wasn't really happy.
What moment was that? Like where?
It was when I was deep in my depression.
Okay.
Maybe like after, maybe not then, but it was when I started seeing the light. After I started doing the work really and understanding like what's my purpose here on earth and like why is this not aligning and what's going on.
That's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
I've been there, girl. I've been there. Crying, literally on my hands and knees in the bathroom at work, my old job.
Yeah.
Just wondering, like, what in the world am I doing here? Why am I here? Mm-hmm. Why haven't I left? I'm supposed to be doing good work. You know, I'm sending doctors and all this stuff and researchers across the world to help people who are in need. Mm-hmm. And I'm still miserable. Why? Right?
Yeah. For me, it was like I was always being challenged and not like... I couldn't find the space to do what I want to do. It was always blocked by all these, you know.
Like they were giving you hurdles in order to do the work that you felt like you were there to do.
They wanted me to do what they want to do. And that's not who I am. So for me, trying to bring in some more stories, some more diverse stories, different perspectives, that was a challenge for me. They wanted me to be a certain way, to put me in a box, but I'm unboxable. And that was hard for me.
Like, I live outside this box.
I'm like, that's not happening. Right. Like, I'm a creator. I'm supposed to bring in new ideas. And they were very comfortable with with more of the same. So I realized, my breaking point when I realized, okay, I'm making all this money, right? Which is great, right? Pat myself on the back. But making all this money, yet I'm depressed. I'm spending all of that money in basically therapy and trying to get better. I'm traveling, maybe 2 trips a year.
Yeah.
I'm miserable, and I'm like, for what? So the switch was when I decided that I'm gonna prioritize me, and I asked myself very honestly, Miriam, what do you need right now? What do you need the most?
Right.
And what I needed was just to be. It wasn't doing. It was like, just leave and just be. Don't think. Don't do. Just get out. Save yourself.
That's beautiful. I love that you had that realization.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, especially women, we tend to be martyrs in everything that we do, in our families, in our jobs. My mom works 6 days a week, still to this day, and she doesn't have any children at home, And so I think it's beautiful that you took the initiative to put yourself first and make sure that you were taken care of. Number one. So, Miriam, I did mention that you are a Reiki practitioner. For those of us who don't know what Reiki is and how you use it in your practice, can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. So Reiki is a Japanese healing modality, and it uses life force energy, which is the most purest, most delicious life force energy is the chi. So when you think about the chi in Chinese culture, the ki is that's the same thing in Japanese culture. So it's life force energy that the practitioner channels and gives it through light touch. So it's very much light touch. So it's not really my energy that I'm giving when I'm doing Reiki. I'm channeling life force energy and putting it in your bodies, in your not only your physical body, but your emotional body and your energetic body. That's why Reiki is so important, or energy healing in general is so important, because a lot of times we tackle physical, what we see, but there's so much more that we don't see, like the energy body, emotional body, so many other, the light body, that also need healing and need clearing. So what it does is that it clears blockages. It promotes energy flow in your body, which helps you physically, emotionally, energetically, and so much more.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
It's amazing, and it's so gentle. That's what I love about it. Like the healing is so deep, but the way you receive it is so beautiful and so gentle. You literally feel your vibration rising. So that's what it does. The way I see it is that it makes you feel really relaxed after the session, but you feel really light. So your body has acquired so much light in the session that your vibration naturally rises. And
so
that's
do
what
you
it's all
find that
about.
people leave here like just feeling like totally different?
Yes. I always ask people before and after the session, like, how do you feel? And then how do you feel afterwards? And a lot of them, some people feel really high, you know, that high feeling that you get kind of after acupuncture sometimes.
Yeah, like after a really good workout at the end, you're just like,
yeah,
your endorphins are like.
Yes. But they feel light, almost like floating a little bit, especially if you come from like a really low vibrational place. That feeling of lightness is so important. And some people just feel really relaxed, like they come in like anxious or whatever intense emotions, and they leave like, oh yeah, I know.
So what kind of services do you provide that include Reiki?
So my sessions as of now, which they will be slightly changing because I have acquired new skills in the last year that I'm going to be incorporating. But my sessions include a meditation. So we first do a meditation just to tap in, see like what's going on in the body, what does the body need right now.
Okay.
And then we do some talk. So just to understand like what if they have any specific goals or what they want to work on. And I work very intuitively, and I can read energy as well. So depending on what they tell me, depending on what I'm getting, that's how I cater my Reiki session to them. So then we move into Reiki, and what they do is they just lay down and relax, and we start with sound. So we do a sound bath first.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
okay.
I use a lot of sound. I love sound baths too. We start with a sound bath, you know, get to a place of total relaxation, and then we move into Reiki, and then we end with aromatherapy, just to kind of ground you back to earth. And after that, we go back, talk some more, and then I do a reading if they want to.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's a holistic type of treatment where you talk about what's going on, you receive healing, you raise your vibrations through aromatherapy, sound bath, Reiki. It's all designed to really raise your vibrations and give you clarity, you know. And then I use the reading just to kind of seal the deal and make sure they understand what's their next step. Okay. And what they need to do next, like something small, tangible that they can do, but also where they're heading, what's the path. And of course, a lot of times when we talk and I give guidance, whatever guidance I give, when I pull the cards, it's usually the exact same thing. So it's really just confirmation for me and them. You know, some people really like the cards. I play with a lot of cards, but essentially I'm an energy reader. I just know intuitively, and I can channel direct guidance.
That's amazing. How has all of these tools helped you in your own personal journey to healing and growth and all of the work that you're doing?
I mean, so at the end of the day, I'm a practitioner. Anything that I teach is something that I do for myself. Right. So I don't teach anything that I don't actually work with and know that it works for me. Right. So they help me tremendously, and just understanding, how to help myself, right? A lot of these practices someone can do with themselves, right? And so it's my way of raising my vibration. So all these little things that I do, it's how can I raise my vibrations and keep it consistently up and not go in, a roller coaster and like not go too deep, because the world, the way it's designed right now, and it is changing, but the way it's designed right now, it's designed to keep you in a fear-based low vibration.
Right.
Anywhere you turn, anywhere you look.
Like the media, it's like the news. As soon as you turn it on, it's like.
And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to go in advertising, to like flip that script.
Right.
So
that narrative.
Exactly. Why can't it be high vibrational, right? It is my question. But so for me, it's all about keeping my vibrations, and all the practices that I learn are ways to do that. Sometimes we need deeper healing. Sometimes we just need to stay in a consistently high vibration and learn how to do it. My whole thing is about accessible wellness. So what can I give to the people that they can take their healing in their own hands? Because I'm not the healer necessarily. Like, people heal themselves.
Yeah,
I'm there to guide them.
That's exactly it.
I'm there to guide them. And me having my vibrations raised really high naturally brings everyone.
It facilitates it.
It facilitates, and that's the healing. I work hard to keep my vibration high, so when people are around me, they can feel it and they can like sense, like, okay, what is that? How can I do it myself? And it's all about having accessible tools that they can take with them and do it every day. So that's what I try to teach in my sessions as well.
So on that note, I know you have an amazing skincare and like self-care line, which by the way was featured in the print version of Essence magazine, which is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that. Tell me more about that line, because I have a skincare line myself, and I'm like, tell me is that one of the reasons why you decided to create a line, to like give people the tools to continue to do the work when they go home and they leave a session? Exactly.
And I created the line the first reason was that it was personal.
Right.
As I started raising my vibrations, my body changed. First of all, I turned vegan. It was not by choice. It was like my body rejected certain things.
Right.
Because my vibrations were high and they weren't aligned with the lower vibrational food anymore. And then my skin started changing, started rejecting soap and like some kind of shampoos. It was just like not having it. And so I was thinking, like,
it's amazing that you listen to your body, though. You're like, all right, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Once you raise your vibration to a certain level, you start hearing things, and like, like, you can't use that soap anymore. You can't use that
Dove. Sorry, Dove.
You can't. You just can't. It was like you put it on your, like, something doesn't feel right? And the reality is that our skin is our biggest organ.
Right.
And here's the scary part. So many I would say most beauty products are not regulated.
They're not.
You know why I know this? Because I have my own beauty self-care line, and it's not regulated either. So you kind of have to trust whoever is making them.
That's why it's so important to purchase from people that you know, and brands that are truly doing the right work and aren't out here like telling you, oh, it's natural. But they put fragrances in it
and
that are
believe me,
oils.
I was in advertising, so I know what goes down in the background. They don't have your best interest in mind. They really don't. They actually take advantage of women, specifically women of color. So knowing all this stuff, I was like, well, I can't use these products, so what am I going to do? So I created my own, essentially. So the way I see it for my skincare line is that skincare and self-care and soul care should all be in one. Like, why do we have to, right?
Yes.
Why do we have to create separate time for self-care and separate time? Like, why can't it just all be integrated? Like, I need a toner, I need a moisturizer, I need a soap, why can't that be high vibrational? Why can't that raise my vibration? Why can't that give me a moment with myself to just connect to myself? So that's how I make my products. I make them with intention, and I charge them with Reiki.
Yes, I saw that. I read that.
Yes. So they're effective, they're natural, but they also help raise your vibrations, which is what I'm after, right? That's what I want women to do, is understand the difference between a low vibrational product and a high vibrational product. How does that make you feel?
Right.
How does your skin react to it? Once we start paying attention, being more mindful about how our body reacts, then we can create change in our own lives, and then tell our friends about it. Right?
So this is how you're basically doing exactly what you moved to the U.S. to do, which was to bring awareness to the masses and to bring people together. You're just doing it in a slightly different way than you imagined.
Yep. My dream is still the same. It hasn't really changed. Right. And it's interesting because I left the industry and I started my own agency and I wanted to do that. But within 2 months, ICU Wellness came to life and it was like I couldn't even stop it. It was just like happening, you know?
This is what your soul.
My soul is like, yeah. So yeah, and it was telling me like, okay, you still need to work with the masses, which I do. You know, that's never gonna go away. That I'm supposed to be out there in the field doing the work and speaking to people and doing all this stuff. But I realized that change really starts with individuals.
It sure does.
And I'm like, you know what? If I can get one individual and they can change the people around them, then I just got 100 individuals.
Right.
So I am working behind the scenes, but also outside in the field as well.
And I find that that's especially true of the population that you're working with. And it's a population that I work with as well, women of color. Mm-hmm. Women of color, we are giving people. So when we learn a strategy, you better believe that we are calling our sister, calling our mama, calling our girlfriend. Like, hey, you know, I just did this Reiki session with Mariam, and it was amazing. I feel so much lighter. I'm so much happier. You need to try this. Let me give you her information. Oh, she taught me how to smudge my apartment. She taught me how to smudge myself. Yeah. How to use Palo Santo in my home. I think you should buy some. This is her website. This is how you can get in contact with her. And that's what's beautiful about working with women of color, that when we learn a skill, we really, and believe in it, we integrate it into our own lives. Absolutely. But we also disseminate the information, and we talk to our families and we talk to our friends.
And I believe that the reason why these things are like finally like coming into the people, you know, communities of color in general, is because for the longest time, like all these modalities have been like taken and very much westernized, and a lot of them are not from the West.
Most of them,
actually, they're not from the West.
There's
nothing. What's from here? Like nothing. So, you know, it's not for specific people, or like how does self-care look like, how does wellness look like. And in my own journey, I would go to yoga studios or to healing places and I just don't feel comfortable. Like I just don't, you know, I couldn't. I tried and I needed that, but something wasn't clicking. Like I needed somebody who could really see me, right? And like, and I realized that I need to create that. I need to see people because I see it. I see beyond just their face. I see beyond just, you know, I see their soul.
Hence the name of your whole entrepreneurs. It's ICU Wellness. And that's one of the things I love about your brand. It's that you really do see women that look like me and that look like you. And you, because you are one of us, you understand the importance of making sure that we feel seen. You know, and that's one of the reasons I started Girl Talk, because I wanted to share the stories of women of color in the wellness field. We are here, people, okay? All of these practices that we're talking about aren't just for white girls in yoga pants, okay? Love my work, but I'm sorry. It's not just for them. It's for us, too. And I think it's important for us to acknowledge women like you that are doing such amazing things in our community and really creating lasting change. So I want to thank you for creating a brand that's so inclusive and so beautifully branded. That advertising background got, girl, you came through in the club.
And you know, not only that, but now I'm using that skill to bring it to more entrepreneurs. So I've been working with a lot of women of color entrepreneurs and helping them brand themselves. My idea, when I started my agency, my idea was like, how can I take what these big corporations used to pay millions of dollars for my skills, like literally just mine, and how can I bring it to the community at a rate that they can afford, because they should have the same quality of work. So I've been doing that as well. So me helping people who are making impact through marketing and advertising is also very important to me.
Because it also helps other people.
That's how we change the industry, because we get to advertise our own damn selves the way we want to and make it look just as competitive as giant brands.
Just as professional.
Just as professional, just as competitive.
That's exactly what we need. Well, Mariam, I want to thank you so much for coming on to Girl Talk.
Thank you so much.
Where can we find your services, your future events, your products, and all the amazing things that you're doing in the community?
You can find me on icuwellness.com. That's the website. It has everything. You can book a session there. I have my products and any events that I post them on the event page, but also I See You Well on Instagram at I See You Well. I'm pretty active. I share a lot of nuggets as they come. I don't really have like a social calendar. I kind of just like show up with whatever energy I'm channeling. That's what I give. So it's interesting as I'm growing, you know, and like we're all growing at the same time. So that's where you find me, Instagram. Or I See You
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you,
and
Jess.
thank you for watching. This has been Girl Talk, and I'll see you next week.
Who run the world? Girls.